Okay, good morning everyone. So we would be starting, we have finished our unit testing part and today we'll be starting with our integration testing. Uh, so let us start. So when you're talking about integration testing, like I have already told you, first step is unit testing, wherein you test single modules or small units. Maybe it can be a class, it can be a function, whatever you consider as the smallest unit in your program, or sorry, in your project or your product. That is basically a small unit, and you test small parts so that when you code something and then you test it, just to find out that whether there is any mistake in whatever you have coded. That is called unit testing, and we have seen techniques of white box and black box. In white box, we saw basis part testing, graph matrix, and we also saw control structure testing. And in black box, we studied about equivalence class partitioning and boundary value analysis, right? Now, the next topic is integration testing. So, integration testing, as the name suggests, uh, when you uh, when you test multiple units, right? When you test multiple units, that time. So when you are going to test multiple units, I'll say that when you combine multiple units, you are going to combine multiple units and test them, then it becomes like a, as the name suggests, integration. So integration of units, we perform the integration testing, right? Now, when you talk about integration testing, there are multiple testing techniques. So before going to that, we need to understand about two things. Those two things are stubs and drivers. Now, what is this concept of stub and driver? See, whenever you want to test something, let's say that this is one class or let's say function. So you are having some function with the name, let's say add function. Okay, very simple example. Now, this add function, or let's say the function is not add, let's take that as a calci function. Okay. Now, this particular function, in turn, right, this calci function, in turn is calling another function. So, it's getting called from main function, right, main program, and then let's say it is another going to call some another function. Uh, let's take something like power function. Okay, just an example I'm giving. So what happens is that generally when you are doing development, uh, there are many people who are involved in development, right? Development of a product, many people are involved. It's not that only one person is doing the development. And it might be possible that they are sitting at completely different locations. One might be sitting in some city, one might be sitting across a different country also. So all these people are not going to communicate with each other, right? So what happens is, if you have a module, that particular module is divided into multiple parts, or if you have a product and it is divided into multiple modules, multiple classes. So some classes will be assigned to, let's say, person one, some would be assigned to person two, some would be assigned to person three, right? Now, let's just suppose that this tested unit, the tested unit is the unit which is completely ready, right? This particular tested unit is nothing but which is completely ready. I want to test this particular unit in accordance with the other modules to which it is attached, right? So suppose I have a class B. Now this class B is dependent on class A and class C. So what will happen? I have this entire class B which is made by, let's say, me only. I have made this. Okay. And let's say this class A is made by supposedly Harshal, and I don't know whether he has made it or not. He is yet to make it. And let's say this class C is uh, so let's say this class C is made by Kanisha. Okay, so for me, I have made this particular module and I want to test it. But now I know that I require some of the values. Class B requires some call from class A and it requires some values from class C, right? So class B is basically dependent on class A and class C. Now, I am not going to wait for Harshal and Kanisha to complete their work. That's not possible, right? Because they will be doing it on in their own pace. But I want to test this. So what will I do? I will create some, dummy components or dummy classes. So I will create dummy classes just so that I can test my class, right? My module I want to test. Now जो भी dependency है उस dependency के हिसाब से I will create some dummy modules. Not, let's not say classes. I will create some dummy modules. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Please let me know. Did you understand what I said? Right? So now this dummy modules are basically called stubs and drivers. So what is a driver? A driver is a component that calls the tested unit, right? Because whenever I am wanting to invoke this class B, right now I'm talking in terms of classes, it can be a function also, it can be anything, right? What you want to test. I have taken right now consideration as a class. So whenever I want to invoke this class, how will I invoke the class? By creating its object, right? That's how I invoke a class. Now that object creation will be done in, let's say, another class, which is class A. Some work is done over there and a class A is going to invoke class B. So because I don't have this implementation, I don't know whether Harshal has made it or not. And I'm not going to wait for him to create it. So what will I do? I'll create a driver. What is this driver? This driver is nothing but a dummy code. A dummy code which is just responsible for calling this particular tested unit, which is my work, the work which is done by me, right? And what is a stub? A stub again is a dummy code which is going to be called from the tested unit. A component the tested unit depends on. Why it depends on? Because it must be returning some kind of values, right? जैसे यहाँ पर ये फंक्शन है तो जब मैंने कैल्सी फंक्शन से पावर फंक्शन को कॉल किया तो इट मस्ट बी रिटर्निंग सम वैल्यू टू द कैल्सी फंक्शन and then calci function must be returning some values to main function. So what would be the main function here? Main function is nothing but the driver over here because it is calling the calci function. And what is the power function? Power function is the stub over here because it is returning some values to the calci function, right? So a component, the tested unit depends on partial implementation and it returns fake values. So please let me know, did you understand the concept of driver and stub? Because otherwise you cannot do the numericals of integration testing if you don't understand the concept of stub and driver, right? So just know that driver हमेशा top पे होता है और stub हमेशा bottom पे होता है, ठीक है? और उसके बीच में tested unit होता है. That is the only thing you need to remember, right? So now let us go to integration testing. Integration testing, the first testing technique is top-down testing, top-down integration. So we call it to be top-down integration testing. So as the name suggests, you start from the top and move towards the bottom. So when I'm saying that I want to start from the top, what is it that I require? Do I require stub or do I require driver? Do I require a stub or do I require a driver? I am at the top. The top module is the one that is to be tested. So that means The top module is already created. When you are doing top-down integration, that means the topmost module is already created, right? So when you are going down, means नीचे के modules नहीं बने हैं. So what do you require? You require stubs, not drivers. You don't require a driver because your topmost module is already created. So top module is tested with stubs, right? Now stubs are replaced one at a time, that is depth first. Depth first, you must be knowing, right, what is breadth first and what is depth first. You must have studied it in DFS or DSA, जो भी आपका subject है, ठीक है? So as new modules are integrated, some subset of tests are rerun, that is okay. Now let us see how we are going to do it. So this is an example. You will in your exam you will get this kind of an example, and you have to perform the top-down integration. So how you will do? So just see the slides, it is moving forward. So first, what is your first layer? Your first layer is test A. So I want to test this particular module using top-down integration. So what would be my layer 1? My layer 1 is I am going to test A, right? Test A individually. Integration test का मतलब क्या है? Multiple unit test when you are combining, it becomes an integration test. So for integration test to be completed, all these modules should be separately tested first, right? All these modules, even though it is a stub, but then also the consideration is that it has been separately tested. Unit test is performed on these all modules separately. Then only you can perform integration test. So what is your layer 1? Your layer 1 is the topmost module, which is test A. Okay, now moving forward. When you go to layer 2, A is connected with which all modules? B, C and D. So right now when I am combining layer 1 and 2, B, C and D should be tested together along with A, right? So all these are my stubs. This is S1, this is S2, this is S3. Why I am not doing AB and AC and AD? Because you can see the structure. The structure is such that A is connected to B, C and D together. So I cannot perform individual test. Integration test means this entire thing has to be tested as a whole. So that's why test A, B, C and D together, right? Now going to the next one. So what you are doing, B is connected to EF. So what will you do? B, E, F आएगा, and D is connected to G. So D, G भी आएगा साथ में, and because B, C and D all are connected to A, so that's why the entire thing will come together. So my next layer is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Is there any doubt in this top-down integration? See, first you see all the integration techniques, and then you figure out that whether you have a doubt or not. Okay? So let me finish all the integration techniques, and then we can discuss if there is a doubt or not. Right? Now let us see. So what is the pros and cons of top-down integration testing? Test cases can be defined in terms of functionality of the system. That is a pro. So what you mean to say over here is that A is depicting the major functionality of the system, and later on B, C, D, E, F, G, all these are stubs who are just returning some values. So that's why functional requirements are completely defined. No drivers needed, of course, because we are starting from the topmost module. Writing stub is difficult. Stubs must allow all possible conditions to be tested. That means whatever values are getting returned from the stubs, you need to provide test cases for all the values, all types of values which should be returned from the stubs. So that is why writing stub is a difficult task. A large number of stubs may be required. Like you can see over here, you require B, C, D, E, F, G. So large number of stubs may be required, especially if the lower level of the system contains many methods, right? And some interfaces are not tested separately. It might happen that all these because it is a stub means the complete implementation is not written, so they are not tested separately. So that is what is written. Some interfaces may not be tested separately. Okay. Now coming to bottom up integration. So bottom up integration is opposite. You don't require stubs, you require drivers, because you start from the lowermost level. So that is why we consider that the lowermost level is created. So you don't require stubs, you require drivers now. Right? Now just see how bottom up testing works. So this is again the same example. Previously we did with top bottom, top down. Now we are doing bottom up. Now just see. So again check the layers. So what is my layer 1? I have E. How many levels are there which are already created? So you have one E, then you have one F, then you have a C, right? C is also a leaf only. You just need to check the leaf nodes. So this is a leaf node, this is a leaf node, this is a leaf node, and this is a leaf node. So all leaf nodes will come together, right? Because you don't require a stub now. You consider that all your leaf nodes are already created. They are fully functional. So you will write the leaf nodes first. So now when your leaf node is completed, what you do now, you need to do integration testing. So E and F has been tested. Now when I want to combine E and F, it is combined with B. So I will test B, E and F. But can you tell me the next one? What would be the next one? Next level? Please tell me the next level, what will come? It would be not just, it would be C. Yes, it would be D and G. C is coming later on, Kanisha. So first D and G. So D and G came. Now what will happen? So you have BEF, you have DG, and C is already there. Now you will entire this integration will happen. The next would be all together. Test A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, did you see the difference between, did you understand the difference between top down and bottom up? Right? So, okay. So, you would be asked to do either bottom up or top down or both, depending on what the question is. But this is the way how you do integration test. ठीक है? Test cases generate नहीं करने हैं आपको integration test में, because we already have talked about how to generate test case in unit testing. So right now we are not focused on test cases of integration testing. Right now we are focused on how integration testing is performed. Right? Now next, so this is fine. Cons, the test the most important subsystem user interface last. What we consider is that the topmost is the one which provides the major functionality. So which is the UI part, so it is tested last. Drivers are needed, so again it is a con. Pro is what? No stubs are needed. But of course, the drivers would be much less as compared to the stubs. Because stub generally leaf node पे आपके पास ज़्यादा calls होते हैं. So that is why we say that writing stubs is more difficult. Drivers are what? They are just doing function calls. You are just calling or invoking an object. So it is not much of a difficult task to write a driver. So that is why there is not much cons over here in bottom up integration testing. Right? Now there is another one which is called sandwich testing, which is the combination of top down and bottom up. So just see the how it looks. So the target layer is in the middle. What happened in top down is, in top down, what is your target layer? Your target layer is the one which is the tested unit, जो आपको test करना है. So that is always at the top, right? In bottom up, your tested जो भी आपको test करना है, that is at the bottom. And when you're talking about sandwich testing, so in sandwich testing, the target layer, which is your tested unit, will be in the middle. So remember this. So your target layer is in the middle. Layer above the target, that means if suppose this is your middle layer, so ऊपर जो होगा that would be your driver and नीचे जो होगा that would be your stub. So you basically require both over here. You require a driver also and you require a stub also. So now see again how a sandwich testing works. So first layer, let's go through the layers. So first layer is, see, I want to test B, C and D. So I cannot start from the between, I cannot start from the middle. Either I have to start from the top or I have to start from the bottom. So what did I do? I started from the top. So this first I am doing test A, right? Next is what? Now I am going नीचे because I first, this is your driver, ये आपका driver हो गया और ये सब आपके stubs हो गए, ठीक है, ये सब आपके stubs हो गए. So आप क्या करोगे? ड्राइवर को अलग से टेस्ट करोगे, स्टब्स को अलग से टेस्ट करोगे. तो E हो गया, F हो गया, G हो गया. C, actually C should also come over here. So it would be written in the question that which all layers you want to test. B, C, D and B, C and D लिखा होगा, so then C should not be considered as a stub, right? If C is not written, then C should be considered as a stub. Otherwise, don't consider it. So right now, the question is that I want to test this particular layer, the entire layer. So that's why C will not come as a stub, right? Okay, now coming over here, so this is your first layer, that is A is tested, E is tested, F is tested and G is tested. Now you want to combine. So you want to combine, how will you combine? With A, you will combine B, C and D because you cannot separate them. A is connected to B, C and D. So you combined A, B, C, D, right? Next, what you are going to do? Because B is combined to E and F. So you combined B, E, F together. Next, what you will do? You will combine D and G together. So can you see it is a combination of bottom up and top down. Top down में ABCD वाला portion आया, bottom up में BEF and DG वाला portion आया, ठीक है? And now you will combine all of them together, which is all the tests together, ABCDEFG. Now, seeing this particular test strategy, can you please tell me what is the disadvantage over here? What is the disadvantage over here? Just see the exactly. So Janelle is telling that there is repetition of testing. So if you can see, some of the modules are getting tested repeatedly. That means ये जो B है ये 2 बार टेस्ट हुआ है, D जो है वो भी 2 बार टेस्ट हुआ है, ठीक है? तो what is the problem? The problem is that does not test the individual subsystems and their interfaces thoroughly before integration. That is why the solution is what? Modified sandwich testing. Now let us see what is modified sandwich testing. So in modified sandwich testing, middle layer with drivers and stub, top layer with stubs, bottom layer with driver. We'll just see, then it would be easy for you to understand. So let us go over here in modified sandwich testing. So what will happen? First test A is coming, then C is coming. Now see over here, even though you want to test B, C and D, this is your layer which you want to test, but still C is taken as a stub only. Why? Because it is a leaf node, right? So it is not something which is connected to some other node over here. A के लिए it is going to be a leaf node only. So that's why you kept C. Then you have B, then you have E. एक second, just a minute. right? So what happened, just see over here again. So A हुआ टेस्ट, C हुआ टेस्ट, फिर आपने B किया, then you did E, then F, then D, then G. So what has happened over here? If you see the previous one, only some of the some of the units were modules were tested individually, whereas over here in this particular one, all the modules are tested individually first. तो ऐसा टॉप डाउन में भी नहीं हुआ था, ऐसा बॉटम में भी नहीं हुआ था, और ऐसा सैंडविच में भी नहीं हुआ था, वेयर ऑल द मॉड्यूल्स आर फर्स्ट टेस्टेड इंडिविजुअली, राइट? इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग में ऐसा ही होना चाहिए दैट पहले सारे मॉड्यूल्स इंडिविजुअली टेस्ट होने चाहिए और उसके बाद इंटीग्रेशन होना चाहिए, बिकॉज if any of the module is having some problem, then it should not be, that dependency should not be circulated to other layers or to other modules, right? Now what will happen? So now it will happen, so A and C can be combined together. So I am combining A and C together, right? Because C is not dependent on anything else. So A and C are combined together. Then you have B, E, F. These can be combined together, right? A separate integration. अभी next कौन सा होगा? D and G is a separate integration. So D and G are done separately. Now what you will do? Now all can be done together. So how many integrations are happening over here? This is one integration, I1. This is another integration, I2. This is another integration, I3. And then as a whole, I4. So first thing was, one con was what? All the units are not individually tested. That con has been justified. Another con which we just talked about, repetition of testing. So none of the tests have been repeated in the second layer, right? So that again, that con has been justified, and you are performing a proper integration now, right? Nothing is repeated, nothing is left out. All the units are tested individually before doing the integration. So everything is performed as per a normal integration testing in modified sandwich testing. So yes, so this much is all about integration testing. So you have 4 testing techniques: top down, bottom up, sandwich, and modified sandwich. And you know the difference between all 4. What is the variation in all 4 techniques? Now you tell me, now do you have a doubt in all 4 techniques? Any doubt in these all 4 techniques? Just you know what you can do is that you do one thing, you make this particular one, this question is common, right? Make this question in your notebook and then try it out on your own. टॉप डाउन में कैसा दिखेगा, बॉटम अप में कैसा दिखेगा, सैंडविच में कैसा दिखेगा, और मॉडिफाइड सैंडविच में कैसा दिखेगा, ठीक है? जस्ट डू इट फॉर 5 minutes and then we'll take another topic. Harshal, if E has 2 other branches, if you are talking about here H and here I, then also all will be written separately: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I, right? A and sorry, C will come over here. A and C will become AC, right? B, this D will not come. B, E, F will become first H, I will come. First E, H and I will come, right? Then, so that would be one layer, EHI. Then EHI will be combined to F would be separately, so F will come here separately, and then EHI and F, they both will become B, E, F, H and I. I hope I'm clear, Harshal. Okay. In sandwich testing, how do we decide which are the initial test cases? So in sandwich testing, you need to see the middle layer. What is the middle layer that you have to see? Or actually, given option to you that क्योंकि multiple layers होंगे तो which layer you have to decide that you'll not come to know. So it would be given that which is your middle layer in terms of sandwich testing, the one that you want to test. Smith. Okay. Okay, so we are left with 10 minutes. So what we are going to do is that we are going to finish this chapter. So see, all the numericals from testing part is done, right? जितने भी numericals that are a part of testing chapters are completed, so that you can practice them. Now whatever is left in testing is theory. But since we have 10 minutes right now, I'll complete the some of the theory part. And like I have already told you that I would be finishing the numerical part first before going for the valuation. CFG for loop. Harshal, if you only have a doubt, I can send you answer. Yes, okay. CFG guys, did you do it? Did you not do it? No doubts you have. कोई डाउट नहीं पूछ रहा है सीएफजी में, मतलब सबको आ गया सीएफजी? Should I assume that? Okay. Okay, great. So let us do the some of the part of theory part of testing. So now you know what you have done right now is you have completed the integration testing, right? Now you have moving to the system testing part. Now in system testing also, if you will search on internet, you have lots and lots of testing techniques. Out of which we are not going to cover all, and they are all theoretical in our course, but there are testing tools by which you can do, a simple testing technique that I will tell you is load testing. Let's take example of load testing. So what is load testing? What you do is that on a system you deliberately give lot of load. Just say, just think about LMS only. If I want to perform load testing on LMS, what should I do? Supposingly you are giving exam on LMS, online exam, right? Quiz you are giving. So how will I do load testing on to test this particular software LMS, that how much load it can take? Let everyone access at the same time. Very true. So what you will do? So let's say that you are starting with 50 users. So it's working properly in 50 users. You move on. So 100 users, no problem. 200 users, no problem. 300 users, no problem. Let's say you move on to 400 users and you see that there is some hanging which is happening, right? Moodle is not working properly, it is lagging behind, or it's getting, hanged. So what do you say that LMS will not work for this many users, right? That's how you do load testing, that how much your system is capable of taking how many users at a time. So that is what, that is a system testing technique. System testing means the entire system is now created. You have done unit testing, you have done integration testing. When you combine multiple integration testing, it becomes a system, right? Your system is completed as a whole. So now let's say that LMS is your system. Okay, LMS is a software, so it is your system. So now what you do is that you perform testing techniques on this entire system. So there are many testing techniques which are available, which you know what I like. These are some of the testing techniques. Not all are written. I have written only 5, but there are many, like almost 20, 25 techniques are there. So, like load testing, I have not written over here. Load testing is one of the testing technique. Stress testing again is a kind of load testing where you execute a system in a manner that demands resources in abnormal quantity, frequency, or volume. So you give stress on the system. You increase the quantity, you increase the volume, you increase the frequency, and just see that how your system is reacting. So that is a stress testing. uh, Performance testing again, you just check that what is the performance of your system, how much speed it is having, right? Let's say that you are making a website, LMS is a website. So when you increase the, you put load on the system, you check that what is the performance, how much time it is taking from going from one page to another page. Or let's say if I want to upload something onto LMS, how much time it is taking. So that is your performance, right? Security testing, let's say that you provide some kind of improper penetration. आप login कर रहे हो तो improperly you try to access without login. So that is what security testing. So all these testing techniques which are performed on the entire system are basically categorized under system testing. If you will search on internet different system testing techniques, you will get huge number of testing techniques. Um so for every kind of testing technique, there is some separate tool which is there in order to perform that testing technique. But we just need to know about that. There is a concept called system testing, right? Now, coming back to, there are two testing techniques that I would try to talk about. First is regression testing. Someone has taken regression testing as their uh, term paper topic as well. So, what is regression testing? Regression testing is the re execution of some subset of tests that have already been conducted to ensure that changes have not propagated unintended side effects. What does that mean? Supposedly, I have a class A, supposedly, right? And I have a class B. Now, I have already tested these class A and class B. ये क्या है, आपका पूरा सिस्टम बन चुका है, ठीक है? और ये सिस्टम के अंदर सपोज 10 क्लासेस है, 10 classes are there, out of which class A and class B are two of the classes, right? So you have done unit testing, you have done integration testing, and you are now in the version of doing system testing. And let's say that you have done system testing also. Now what happens is, supposedly if I go and change something, I make some changes, some change, let's say change C1 in this particular class, and here I have done some change in C2, some change C2 in class B. So what is regression testing? Regression testing means it's just a different name which is given when the entire system is created and then you are performing some changes. So when you are performing these changes, is it affecting your system, the entire system? Is there any dependency which is getting created, which is creating some unintended side effects? That is what we check by means of regression testing. So it's not something new, right? It's not something, some other testing technique. It's just that once you perform unit testing, once you perform integration testing, once your system is entirely created and then you are going and changing something. So is this change creating some side effect in your system? Is it creating some false values, some dependency in your system which was not there previously. So that is called regression testing. So what I can say is that after some updations, after you perform some updations, you basically call it, you don't call it to be unit or integration testing. After you perform these updations, then we call it to be regression testing. It's just a different name, so that I'll say that okay, I have done regression testing on the system. So what does that mean? That some changes have been done on the module, on the system, on the code, and now I want to test it. So then it is called a regression testing. It will not be now called unit or integration testing, because unit or integration testing is done initially. Once all the entire integration is completed, then you will not call it to be unit testing or integration testing, then you will call it to be regression testing, right? So whenever software is corrected, some aspect of the software configuration, that means the program or documentation or data is changed. जब कुछ करेक्शन होता है तो इनमें से कुछ ना कुछ चेंज होगा ही होगा, ठीक है? So regression testing helps to ensure that the changes due to testing or any other reason does not introduce unintended behavior or additional errors. So that is what we do by means of regression testing. Regression testing may be conducted manually by re-executing a subset of all the test cases, or by using automated tools, right? So for, like I have said, it's not a separate testing technique. It's just the name given when some changes have been done, some corrections have been done, and you want to test your system again, then you call it to be regression testing. I hope I am clear with this concept. What is regression testing? Right? Okay. So what we'll do is that we'll stop now. Now it's the time is over. You have another class. Now, just for giving you information, now you know, because rest of the part in testing chapter is completely theory, right? It might take me 1 hour max to complete the theory. So what I will do is that your next chapter is basically the estimation chapter, right? So what I will do is that, one minute, so your next chapter is basically this project metrics and uh, estimation. Now this particular chapter has a lot of numericals. So you know what I'll do is that next time जो भी मैं class schedule कर रही हूँ, I will be completing this particular chapter, because this chapter has completely all the numericals, no theories there. So I would be finishing this chapter so that your numerical part is over, and then theory part will not take much time. Is it understood to all of you? So please don't skip any lecture that I'm scheduling in your free time, so that I can finish this, and I require 2 hours together. So that there is no breakage in the flow of the questions, because they all are related to each other, all the numericals. So that's why do not skip that particular lecture, right? And then theory part we can cover after coming back from the vacation. I hope I'm clear with this. Okay, everyone, can I get an answer? Okay, great. Janelle, yes, I am yet to check the mails. I think I checked it till last night. So then now I will check it and I'll reply. Okay. Okay, I'm ending the session. Good day. Dash Ruju, yes, I'll put the recordings.